Ed è un grande piacere ricevere qui nella nostra postazione, nel media center a Diriyah in Arabia Saudita, in occasione della prima gara di Formula E della stagione 5, Roger Griffiths, che è il team principal di BMW, che ha vinto ieri con Antonio Felix da Costa. Hello, I present you to the Italian public, and it's very pleasure for us to receive you here in our place of job. And congratulations for the victory of yesterday.
Yeah, no, well, first of all, thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity to talk to you. Yes, super happy for yesterday. It's been a long time coming. We've been in the championship since the beginning, and this is our first win. You know, started well yesterday with pole position, actually the fourth pole position the team has had, but the first one in a long time. And, you know, we knew coming out of Valencia the car was competitive. You know, everybody says, well, Valencia isn't representative, but I think if you're fast, you're fast. And we were able to demonstrate yesterday that, you know, with Antonio, very competitive car, very competitive driver, and yeah, we took our first win. And it's a great start to the partnership with BMW Motorsport, BMW I, and really excited for what the season is to come.
And it's the first time for this partnership, and it's also the first time for Andretti Autosport.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's the first win for Andretti in Formula E. We've been super successful in other championships, you know, so IndyCar championships, Indy 500 wins. We actually, yesterday was the team's 194th win in professional motorsport. So I'm very happy that the Formula E program is now contributing to that total. And, you know, while we've been working with BMW for a number of seasons now in Formula E, I mean, the partnership really started in season 2. We've become much more integrated, and now as the factory team, the works team with BMW, it's a great start. It's a great thank you for everybody that's been involved in the program from day one. There's been a tremendous amount of effort that's gone in from both the BMW engineers and the Andretti engineers to bring us to this point. And, you know, this is, you know, the best present we can give them.
Speaking about technical questions, or especially about organization questions, with the new era of Formula E, with only one car, with the new tires, attack zone, and such things, how changed the organization into the garage between last season and this season?
For us, it fairly small changes. We've actually. I think we're +1 on engineering and -1 on the mechanics, so a subtle change in the balance. Obviously, having only 2 cars to work on during the course of the weekend has meant that we felt that we could maybe reduce the mechanics a little bit. We're still debating as to whether that's the right thing to do, because the other challenge is if you do have an incident here with only 1 car, the consequences are more serious, because that driver then doesn't have a second car to jump into. So I can't say at this point whether we'll finish the season with the same balance of people as we have today. The car is technically more challenging to work on from an engineering perspective, you know, particularly with a lot more control systems on the car, the active braking, a lot more sophistication on how we control the powertrain. That means that the level of engineering that goes into the car is increasing. I mean, and for me, this is the big thing that I've seen since season 1. I remember, you know, showing up in Beijing for the very first race, and you know, we only had a few engineers on the team, and it was primarily more.
It was other era of Formula E. I have been also there. I follow all races, and was monomark.
Yeah, yeah, and. You know, as we've all started to get to grips with energy management and understanding how the battery works and how the race strategy is evolving, everything has become a lot more sophisticated. And, you know, that means more brain power at the racetrack, and that's what we focused on. So it's been a slow evolution of the team. It hasn't been an overnight change. Oh, well, we suddenly need to go hire all these guys that, you know, maybe experienced people out of Formula One. We've actually developed people internally, and when I look at the people that are in the team today compared to the people that were in the team for season 1, I would say that 75% of the team is the same. You know, we've just internally developed the people, and having that consistency and continuity of staff has been one of our big assets.
This is the part of the program next of BMW I for electric cars in near future.
Yeah, I mean, one of the key things which is so exciting about this particular project with BMW is that they've actually used the powertrain engineers from their road car division to develop the electric motor and the electric motor controls. And this collaboration between the more traditional racing people and the road car guys has been super successful. It's obviously a risk to take because quite often road car people don't necessarily understand racing, and in particular they don't understand racing timelines and the pressure. But in this case, it's been really successful, and it's actually worked as a good morale collaboration internally within BMW. Now, the road car guys can actually say, I'm part of the success of what happened yesterday. And you know, racing often talks about the trickle-down effect of racing technology into road cars. And you know, it's a nice story to tell, but often it's a story and the reality is different. I think here we are actually seeing that opportunity because the road car guys have been involved in a racing program, or are involved in a racing program, and they're now seeing new technologies and new methods of working that they can actually bring to the production car and make a better production car. And you know, that's just great for everybody.
How did you live the race of yesterday?
Sorry?
How do you live in the box the race of yesterday?
I mean, I was obviously very happy. I was.
But during the race?
During the race, well, at the start, I couldn't believe it when Antonio pulled up on the grid and wasn't straight, and he's pointing towards the wall, and then he starts reversing on the grid. I was just, I was so complete. I was like, that's not to plan. To be honest, I was quite calm. You know, I knew that I knew the car was quick. I knew Antonio was quick. I was concerned about Jev. I mean, I know he's one of the fastest guys out there. I was confident that we could race him. You know, we didn't say to ourselves we must win this race, and you know, we knew we wanted to be competitive. I was pretty calm, and we were working. You know, we had a plan. We went into the race with that, and the advantage of being at the front is it's a lot easier to execute that plan from the front than it is to try and come from 15th place and make spots up. You know, obviously we had to adapt to the ongoing race, particularly with the penalties that people had and the safety car incident. And when the safety car came out, you know, we understood where we were with the number of attack modes that we had remaining, and I was talking to the race engineer on Antonio's car saying, I think we should look at how we can best use our remaining attack mode for the restart, for the end of the race. You know, I spent 11 years working in IndyCar, so very familiar with restart strategies and things like that, and how to win those. And you know, a little bit of that was coming across yesterday afternoon. Just trying to, you know, I don't tell the race engineer what to do. You know, I'll give him some suggestions. I say, you know, think about this, think about that. You know, my role is to be able to step back a little bit, try and see how the race is unfolding, the bigger picture. You know, I'm unlike many of the other team principals, my background is engineering and race operations as opposed to perhaps marketing or finance or other areas. So, you know, I look at it from that side of things, and I try and you know, use my few years of experience and help the younger guys. So everything really went to plan, and you know, once we got the gap on the restart, I was confident that we could keep Jev behind us. I knew that Antonio was kind of driving with himself. You know, there was that last minute or ditch attempt by Jev to get past, but you know, as soon as I saw he missed that, then I knew that okay, we've won this one. So Heart rate was okay, it didn't go too high, so no, I was very happy. I mean, but on the other side of the garage with Alexander, we had a few issues on that car, and we got 2 penalties during the course of the race for the power usage. That was unfortunate. We were in communication with race control. They'd warned us that we had an issue. We were discussing with them the best strategy to take on how to deal with that situation. They were well aware of what we could do and what we couldn't do, and in the end we accepted the penalty, and Alexander was very professional about it, and as soon as we told him to come in, he did. It's unfortunate we got the second penalty for the same thing because we couldn't do anything about it. It was just inevitable that was going to happen, but very good experience for Alexander. Learned an awful lot yesterday about the racing, so very happy.
Now in races usually we said that yesterday is history and tomorrow is the next step. And now tomorrow for us is Marrakesh, and okay, in the middle are the Christmas time. I suppose that you beginning to thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, started thinking about Marrakesh about 10 minutes after straight after the podium ceremony, I would say, and really my thoughts on Marrakesh is I can't wait. Really excited about that. We've been quick there before, not always been able to turn it into a race result, but Antonio and Tom Blomqvist last year drove quite well there. So I think it's going to be a good opportunity for Alexander. It's not a full-blown street circuit, it's not Paris, it's not Santiago. I think it's a good opportunity for Alexander to really learn more about the car. He's obviously testing here today in Riyadh, learning more and more. I think it's a track that will suit him, and I'm hopeful of a strong result from him. And with Antonio, we're one race into a 13 race championship, so it's about building on the result from yesterday. We don't have to go out and win every single race, but we have to finish every race, and we have to finish in the points. And so that's for me, we've got to have this consistent points finishing, top 5, top 3 approach to it all, understand where the risks are. I think, hopefully we're going to learn some things today in the test that we can take to Marrakesh and evolve the car. I think that from our perspective, the powertrain is quite strong, but we've got more work to do on perhaps maybe the more traditional aspects of race engineering, the mechanical balance of the car, that kind of thing. So that's what we're working on today, amongst other things, and I think that will mean we can look forward to another strong showing in Marrakesh. So.
Thank you very much, Roger, for being here with us, and happy Christmas and Happy New Year, and we will see you again in Marrakesh, I hope.
Yeah, absolutely, and to all of your readers and viewers, Happy Christmas, Happy New Year, be safe, have fun, look forward to seeing you in 2019.
Thank you.
Thank you.